It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Washington Nationals. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Sunday to you, wherever you may be. Dodgers make a personnel move. Garrett Anderson, the veteran, the wonderful player over all those years, has been designated for assignment. The Dodgers brought up 33-year-old Jay Gibbons, left-hand power hitter, played with Baltimore, hit as many as 28 home runs in the big leagues. He was at Albuquerque where he hit 19, so he'll add a little power to the ball club as they prepare to go east. It'll be Ted Lilly for the Dodgers against Jason Marquis on the mound for Washington. The Dodgers, when they leave, will face Philadelphia and Atlanta, and that brings up the point that Washington has 18 games left with those two teams to decide the East. We'll get to the ball game right after this.
Welcome back at Dodger Stadium. Nationals and Dodgers ready to roll. It's time for our Alexis pursuing perfection. And for James Loney, it was a thing of perfection. His fourth walk-off RBI of his career, a 10-inning game winner against the Nationals.
Well, if you can pick a guy in the lineup right now that you'd want up with an opportunity to win the game, obviously last year it was Andre Ethier. This year, James Loney leads the team in RBI, so that's the guy I don't mind standing up there with a chance to win it, and he pulled through.
67 runs batted in so far this season. And talking to him, he said, yeah, we need to put a winning streak together to get back to the top of the West, but we need to win series, take 2 out of 3, and that would start with this final game Sunday against the Nationals.
That's the most important thing to do. I mean, if you could rattle off 8 or 10 straight victories, that would be great, but it doesn't happen that often. You do have to win the series, and if you look at what the Washington Nationals have done, they started this 7-game road trip in Arizona, and now they've come here. They're 3-3. They have not won a 2-city series in over 2 years, so this is the deciding game there. If they win this game, they will have done that. I think the Dodgers ought to keep them on that same trend of never winning a two-city series.
And important for the Dodgers because after this home game, it's on the road to Philadelphia and Atlanta, celebrating Viva Los Dodgers Day as we do every Sunday here at Dodger Stadium. Enjoy the ball game.
The 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Southern California. Brought to you by the all-new 2011 Hyundai Sonata. Visit your Southern California Hyundai dealers today. By Shaky. What did pitcher Doc Ellis wear in his hair on the field? Go to Shakey's.com/trivia. By CarMax. Now more than ever, the smart choice is CarMax. And by AT&T. TV, high-speed internet, home phone, and wireless. Visit ATT.com or call 1-800-PIC-ATT for details. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Sunday to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium for the final game of the three-game series with the Washington Nationals and the final game of a brief homestand of 7 games. Dodgers will leave tomorrow and head for Philadelphia and Atlanta. And the Dodgers trying to put a bow on the package and finish up on a high note on a somewhat hazy Sunday. For the ball club, they're not interested in the view, but sitting here looking out toward center field, the mountains have almost disappeared. And yet, above us, a beautiful canopy of blue and a delightful day as far as the temperature is concerned. So pull up a chair. Here we go. And we'll take a look, first of all, at the Washington Nationals lineup. Second baseman Alberto Gonzalez, the shortstop Ian Desmond, and at third base Ryan Zimmerman. Big Adam Dunn at first base, Josh Willingham in left, Michael Morse in right, Justin Maxwell in center, Will Nieves behind the plate for Pudge Rodriguez, and Jason Marquis on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Ted Lilly. Ted, born in Lomita, lives in Fresno, went to Fresno Community College, originally drafted by the Dodgers in 1996, left them, went among other places to the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and the Cubs, and finally came back to the Dodgers, and on August the 3rd pitched a gem against the Padres. You may remember he went and made only 87 pitches, retiring a string of hitters following an early home run. So Ted Lilly will be pitching now to the Nationals, and among other things, the Nationals have an edge on the Dodgers. They've won 3 of the previous 5. So if the Nationals beat the Dodgers today and win the series, it'll be the first time the Expos did it in 2001. Meanwhile, Alberto Gonzalez, a big swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. Gonzalez hitting .291. Played second base, played a little bit of shortstop last night, right-hand batter. And the strike 1 pitch on the way is fouled back, and the count 0-2. On this lovely Sunday, 76 degrees. Humidity very low, just an ideal day, and the prospects of a very good ball game. Gonzalez from Maracaibo in Venezuela. Ted Lilly ready and comes to him, and a ground ball to the right side. Up with it there is Terrio, and just like that, we have one away. Take a look at the Dodgers with the leather. You have Plesetnik, Kemp, and Ethier in the outfield. The infield today, Belliard, then Carroll, Terrio, and Loney. And it'll be A.J. Ellis spelling Brad Ausmus, handling Ted Lilly. So Ian Desmond coming up, the young shortstop. Good talent, you can tell, but he had a bad night last night, striking out 3 times and going 0 for 4. Lilly into the windup. The left-hander delivers a push bunt up along first. Foot race, and Loney missed the tag. Loney trying to pin him going by. Desmond didn't try to slide into first, and the attempt just missed. So Desmond a bunt single to James Loney, and now Zimmerman and Dunn will be coming up. James racing to the lane, held the glove out. However, he never did get the tag. And on the instant replay, you can see that he tried to get his back, and the arching of the back made the difference in the play. So Lilly, who had retired 22 in a row in his game against San Diego, gives up a bunt single to the second hitter in the game today. And here is Ryan Zimmerman. Lilly out of his stretch and goes to first base. Desmond back on the bag. So Ryan Zimmerman, who homered in the first inning last night with a man aboard, then went 0 for 3, striking out twice the remainder of the game. Lilly set, and they pick off the runner. The throw down and dropped at second base by Ryan Terrio. The throw right into Desmond, and Terrio unable to glove it. So Desmond picked off and yet gets away with it. Loney made the throw, but it sailed towards the runner, and as Terrio tried to make the catch and bring it down, it popped out of the mitt. So just like that, Desmond at second base with 1 out. It will be, we'll check and see, stolen base waiting on the scorer. Lilly ready now and delivers, and Zimmerman takes a strike. And it will be a stolen base for Ian Desmond. Among their other qualities, the fact that the Washington Nationals, a maturing young club, they are definitely getting better, and they have some speed. Desmond now has stolen 11 out of 14, and they have others who run well. The next pitch, big slow hook, and that misses. 1 ball and 1 strike. Nyla Morgan, who is not in there, has stolen 29 bases. Adam Kennedy, who's not playing today, has stolen 12 out of 13. And Bernardina has stolen 8 out of 10. So they have some rabbits. Meanwhile, Zimmerman, a towering fly ball to right center. Matt Kemp to the track at the wall. Reaches up, makes a wonderful catch. Tagging up and moving over to third is Desmond. Boy, what a fine play by Matt Kemp. Not only following the fly to the ball, somehow he had to find the ball in the brilliant sunshine, and he made it all. Squinting, reaching, grabbing, and then running into the wall. And of course, the eye black helped, the sunglasses helped, the bill of the cap helped, but of course a big soft glove able to grab the ball just before he went into the pads. So 2 down. Adam Dunn takes inside, ball 1, 1-0 the count. And looking at Lilly, Zimmerman is 2 for 10. Adam Dunn 2 for 9 with a home run against him. Adam, remember, 2 3-run home runs in the first game. He takes low. The Dodgers with that triangle defense, which means Terrio is playing a shallow right field. Jamie Carroll is on the other side of second base. So Belliard is all alone, and he's staying near third. He's not overshifting. He has to keep the runner near the bag at third. As Dunn swings and misses, and the count to the big first baseman, 2 balls and 1 strike. Adam Dunn, 6'6", about 270. Leading the National League with 30 home runs. He's paid the price. He has also struck out 135 times. Lilly ready and delivers, and it's swung on and hit foul outside of first. 2-1 the count, now 2-2. Always a threat to hit a home run is Adam Dunn, and for that matter, so are the Nationals. Since the All-Star break, the Nationals have hit 20 home runs on the road. 2-2 the count. Lilly out of his stretch. The left-hander ready, and the pitch to Dunn swung on and missed, and down he goes again. So no runs, a bunt single, and a man left, and at the end of half an inning, no score. We'll take a look now at the Dodger lineup for today. Scott Podsednik in left field, Ryan Terrio at second, and Andre Ethier in right. Then you have James Loney, Matt Kemp, Ronnie Belliard at third, Jamie Carroll at short, A.J. Ellis behind the plate, Lilly on the mound. On the mound for the Washington Nationals, Jason Marquis. He is the second pitcher working for Washington, coming from the Long Island area. John Lannon from that neck of the woods opened up game 1. The pitch to Scott Podsednik in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Marquis is 6'1", 210, 32 years old, born in Manhasset, lives in Staten Island, comes back with a sinker, but that's off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. Jason Marquis was a first-round pick by the Braves in 1996. Never really worked out for him until he got to the Cardinals. The 1-1 pitch on the way, a bunt fouled away upstairs. How about that? Well, he was on the move. Podsednik does that, kind of slapped at the ball, taking a page out of Ichiro, and that thing sailed all the way up into the second level. 1-2 the count to Podsednik. Fleet-footed left fielder, always a threat to bunt. Now the 1-2 pitch coming up, a look, and it's low, ball 2. With the Cardinals in 2004, Jason won 15. And with the Rockies in 2009, he won 15. Then he had a lot of arm trouble, bone chips, and finally had to have surgery. 2-2 pitch is inside, ball 3. So he has spent this year with about a half a dozen rehab games at Potomac and Syracuse and Potomac and Harrisburg. And here he is. 3-2 pitch on the way, and Posednik hits a fly ball down the left field line, slicing in the corner, foul, and going into the stands. So Scotty is still there working on a full count. The Dodgers, in looking at one outfielder, reminds me to remind you, the Dodgers have made a personnel move today. Garrett Anderson, the veteran who has enjoyed such a wonderful career, has been designated for assignment, and there's ball 4 to Scott Posednik. So a rabbit will be loose. Jay Gibbons called up from Albuquerque, and Jay has been a major leaguer. He hit as many as 28 home runs for the Baltimore Orioles. He was absolutely destroying AAA. He had 19 home runs, 83 runs batted in, so they've called him up. He hit 28 for the Orioles in 02. He hit 26 for them in 05. And the Dodgers hope that he'll be able to give them a little sock. So now you have Terrio with Posednik at first. And Terrio shows bunt, takes high, ball 1, 1-0. Terrio having a look at Larry Boa. Ryan does a lot of things very well. You could have him bunt, or you could play hit and run, and he goes the other way very well to hit behind the runner. So the 1 ball, no strike count. Posednik poised off the bag at first. There he goes. The pitch taken and dropped at the plate by Nieves. So Posednik steals second without a play. So Posednik, who has stolen as many as 70 in his big league career, picks up his 4th stolen base. Nieves never had a chance to make a throw. So Terrio now with a 1 ball, 1 strike count. And remember, Ryan Terrio, not half, but certainly more than that, maybe a third to a half, goes the other way. So the 1 ball, 1 strike count. He shows bunt and gets it down. Good bunt. And Marquis can't pick it up. And Terrio is safely aboard. Moving to third is Posednik. So the Dodgers have a lot going on here. First the walk, the stolen base on the drop pitch by Nieves. Now the bunt by Terrio, and the failed pickup by Marquis. Marquis picked it up, dropped, staggered, almost fell down. So we'll wait for the scoring, but we do know first and third. Probably sacrifice and an error charged to Marquis to account for Terrio being aboard. So now you have Ethier, Loney, and Kemp trying to get the Dodgers off on the right foot. First and third, nobody out. First inning. Marquis ready, delivers. Andre takes high, ball 1. Ethier hitting .298. Last night had a double, scored a run in the 4th inning. Andre with 18 home runs, 63 runs batted in. Marquis bends at the waist now. The veteran straightens up, checks the runners, and the 1-0 pitch. There goes Terrio. The pitch outside. The throw down goes into center field, but it's backed up at second base. Meanwhile, Posednik will score anyway. And the Dodgers pick up a very, well, they would call it a gift run. Washington certainly not giving gifts. So Posednik at second, Terrio at first. Ethier still waiting at the plate as Posednik brings the run in. And we will see about the scoring on that one as far as the throw by Will Nieves. So Posednik comes home, and it'll be a stolen base and the error charged to Nieves. 2-0 the count. Marquis delivers way outside to Ethier, ball 3. So you had Posednik walk, steal second, Nieves just dropping the pitch. Then you had Terrio sacrifice, and Marquis unable to pick up the bunt for an error. Then you have the stolen base by Terrio and a bad throw by Nieves, and the Dodgers steal a run. The pitch to Ethier is low, ball 4. So the Dodgers, with 2 walks and a sacrifice, they haven't had an official at bat yet, and they have 2 stolen bases and a run. And James Loney coming up. We can duck in a couple of scores. Top of the 8th inning, the Braves leading the Giants 5-3. Padres and D-backs scoreless in the first inning, and the Rockies leading the Pirates 8-4, bottom of the 6th. So here is Loney, 2 on, nobody out. 1-0 Dodgers. Terrio takes his lead at second, Ethier at first, and Marquis, a little bit of a tough luck pitcher for the moment. Right-hander ready, looks back at second, double checking Terrio, and the pitch to Loney in there for a strike, 0-1. James coming up with his 3rd walk-off last night with that line drive single to right field with the bases loaded, cashing in Ronnie Belliard to give the Dodgers the 3-2 lead. 0-1 the count. Marquise in trouble, checks the runners and comes back. Loney takes on the outside corner, so he's in a hole now. No balls and 2 strikes. For Jason Marquis, when he was in high school, he pitched his high school team to 2 straight New York City championships, one in Shea Stadium and the other in Yankee Stadium. So he was exposed to a big league ballpark in high school. The strike 2 pitch on the way, swung on, a slicing fly ball down the left field line, will go back into the crowd. So the count stays 0-2. So Jason Marquis will be 32 a little bit later in the month. Growing up, went to a lot of Yankee and Mets games. He was also a member of the National Honor Society while in high school. He had scholarship offers and a stated desire to go to the University of Miami. So a lot of teams kind of backed off on him. The strike 2 pitch coming up to James Loney. The right-hander's fastball is in the dirt. Blocked nicely by Nieves. New ball put in play. And a 1-2 count. Ball players can become very superstitious, and Marquis, when he was in the minor leagues, would admit that he was very superstitious. Here's the 1-2 pitch to James Loney, poke foul, and the count stays 1-2. In the minor leagues, believe it or not, if Jason spit on the field, he had to make sure it wasn't on the mound. If it did happen, he would wipe it away with his shoe, and if his team was ahead at the time and he was in the dugout, he would always unbutton his jacket when there were 2 outs in the 9th inning. You don't think this game drive you crazy? 1-2 the count to James Loney. Marquis ready and deals inside, 2-2. I will say one thing. I remember a long time ago, an outfielder in the National League, no sense mentioning his name, no sense mentioning the team he played for. But I will say this, he traveled where he practiced voodoo. He had a voodoo doll in his luggage. He'd be facing a pitcher the next night and he'd stick pins in the voodoo doll. Yeah. Here's the 2-2 pitch in the dirt, ball 3. So for Marquis, 2 walks, 2 stolen bases, his own error, and a full count to Loney without anybody out. And right now, no official at bat. On deck, Matt Kemp. Visions of sugar plums in his mind. Remember last night he was robbed of a grand slam. Well, watch the runners. 2 on, nobody out. Will they run with Loney 3-2? Marquis set, the runners go, and the ball is lined into left field. So Terrio just keeps on coming to score. Stopping at second is Ethier, and the Dodgers now have picked up 2 in the first inning. So James Loney picks up where he left off last night. A base hit the other way. 2-0 Dodgers, still nobody out, and Matt Kemp coming up. So a very tough beginning for Jason Marquis as Terrio gets 5s in the dugout. So Matt Kemp will be coming up. Steve McCatty, the pitching coach, on his way out there. Miguel Batista is throwing in the Washington bullpen. So the Dodgers leading 2-0, trying to finish up a homestand with a win before going out to play Philadelphia and Atlanta. In talking about Philadelphia and Atlanta, and of course they have a wild one battling it out to win the Eastern Division. Philadelphia 2 games behind Atlanta. But it's not so much the Dodgers as the Washington Nationals that will have a lot to do with who wins the National League East. You know why? Washington has beaten Atlanta 5 of 9. They have gone 1 under. They're 4-5 against Philadelphia. They have 18 games, 9 each, with Atlanta and Philly. So they will indeed be a big factor. All right, Marquis trying to get Kemp here. 2 on, nobody out, and Matt fouls it away. Kemp batting .260, 18 home runs, 61 runs batted in. So a rather strange first inning. Posednik walked, stole second. Terrio sacrificed, and Marquis couldn't pick the ball up for an error. Here's the strike one pitch coming up to Matt Kemp. Marquis delivers, and it's in there for a strike. 0-2. Ethier walked. Terrio stole. Loney singles to score a run, and it's 2-0 in favor of the Dodgers, with Ethier at second, Loney at first, and nobody out. Marquis again out of a stretch. Right-hander ready, and his strike 2 pitch coming up. Jason Deal swung on and missed. Fastball up and in, and down he goes. So Kemp strikes out, and the batter will be Ronnie Belliard. For Marquis, the book, of course, that the hitters always study if they've never seen him before. He has both a 4-seam change and a 2-seam change, so it'll rise or sink accordingly to what he wants it to do. He also has a hard slider, curveball, cutter. And here he comes now to Belliard. Ground ball to third, gobbled up by Zimmerman for 1. Back to first, not in time. Ryan Zimmerman doesn't wait for the ball to come to him. He's like a big vacuum cleaner. He just charges it, sucks it up, and fires to second. However, they were unable to make a double play on the ball. The Belliard hits into the fours. 5-4. James Loney trying to break up the double play and did a pretty good job. Gonzalez upended. So now Jamie Carroll, the 7th man to come up to the plate, with the Dodgers leading 2-0. Marquis' first pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. So Andre Ethier down the line from third. Ronnie Belliard at first. 2 runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. No runs, 1 hit for the Nationals. Marquis straightens up, and Jamie hitting .272, waiting at the plate. He swings, tries to hold up, and he can't do it. That'll cost him a strike. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Big news in the baseball world today was a near no-hitter. It was a 1-hitter by Brandon Morrow of Toronto against Tampa Bay. And the hit came with 2 out in the 9th inning on a ground ball just off the tips of the second baseman's glove and on out into right field. Here's the strike 2 pitch coming up to Jamie Carroll. Instead, no pitch. Marquis backs off the rubber. Carroll out of the box. Morrow, by the way, struck out 17, and it was an Ironman performance in this day and age. He made 137 pitches. Brandon's from Santa Rosa, 26 years old. And again, Carroll out of the box. Morrow, 2 years ago with Seattle, had a no-hitter into the 8th inning against the Yankees. That was his first major league start. 0-2 the count to Jamie Carroll. Marquis delivers, breaking ball down and away, the slider, and a 1-2 count. Morrow, just to finish the story, went 8 2/3 before Evan Longoria hit one off the second baseman's glove into right field. Morrow completed the one-hit shutout, and Toronto won 1-0. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up. Runner going. It's outside and no play. So Belliard steals second on a slider in the dirt. Nieves had no chance to get rid of it. So for the Dodgers, they have 3 stolen bases here in the first inning, and they're leading 2-0. So with second and third, you have Carroll at the plate with a 2-2 count, and A.J. Ellis on deck. It's been a tough inning for Marquis. It's been equally tough for the catcher, Will Nieves. So second and third, Belliard and Ethier, and the 2-2 pitch to Jamie Carroll. Marquis out of his stretch, very deliberate. Now to the plate, a shot up the middle, base hit. That will score 2 runs, and the Dodgers lead 4-0. Ground ball right through the mound, over second into center field. There was no chance to make a play on Belliard. And of course, Ethier walked in from third base. So the Dodgers 4-0. For Jason Marquis, for everything else, he is making his 32nd pitch here in the first inning. Talking about a pitch count, we were talking to some of the scouts, Stan Williams, Joe Moeller, about Brandon Morrow making 137 pitches today. There goes the runner. Nieves, a throw down. Got him finally. And finally comes from the Washington dugout. So it's Jamie Carroll caught trying to steal. But the Dodgers get 4. And at the end of an inning, Dodgers 4, Nationals nothing. A head down Jason Marquis, trying to think it over, or then again maybe to forget it, as the Dodgers score 4. He made 32 pitches, and we go to the second inning. Josh Willingham, Michael Morse, and Justin Maxwell in that order, and Ted Lilly ready to work. We went to break while we were starting to tell you about a pitch count. Willingham takes a strike, and they count 0-1. Brandon Morrow made 137 pitches. Stan Williams, who was a big, strong man always, he battled Warren Spahn in a game and beat him 2-1. And Stan made 206 pitches in that game. But then he volunteered the note, yeah, but Nolan Ryan once pitched a 9-inning game and made 249 pitches. The 1-1 pitch sliced foul out of play. So indeed, Nolan Ryan pitches a game of 249 pitches. He now owns the Texas Rangers, and you might have read that line, which has a lot behind it. He will not have a pitch count. Yeah, ignorance is bliss. 1-2 the count to Josh Willingham. Picked up the nickname Hammer, probably with the Marlins 4 years ago when he hit 26 home runs. Josh has 15 right now. Lilly delivers, sliced foul off to the right, back into the stands again. Willingham from Alabama, 31 years old, originally drafted by the Marlins, played with the Marlins, and then came over to the Nationals last year and hit 24 home runs. Josh, 31 years old, chops one foul outside of third, so the duel continues. Pat Listosh, the coach over there, picking it up. The Nationals are moving in the right direction. They're already a good month ahead of last year, and they have a fine young manager in Jim Riggleman. Meanwhile, another foul ball. Riggleman, who was drafted back in 1974 by the Dodgers, eventually came here to coach. Jim Lett, who is in the bullpen, Jim Lett coached with him, and they're both here wearing the Washington uniform. 1-2 the count. Into the windup goes Ted Lilly. Left-hander deals inside, little cutter at the hands. 2-2 the count. And among those on the coaching staff with Washington, the pride of Notre Dame High School over in the Valley, that would be Tim Foley. 2-2 the count to Josh Willingham. Lilly works from the third base side of the rubber, and the pitch is popped up on the right side. Backing out is Terrio. Coming in is Ethier, but it's Ryan for the catch. One away, second inning.
Right fielder, number 28.
The batter will be Michael Moores. You know, we mentioned a few days ago about the fact the Dodgers were then 8 games back. They're 7 games back now. And really, having lived through the 1951 season when the Dodgers had a 13.5 game lead in August and lost, I would be the last one in the world to think there's such a thing as a safe lead. And I mentioned 1964 when Gene Mauch, a fine manager, had the Phillies. They were 6.5 in front on the 20th of September and lost. Well, on this date in 1982, Bob Welch pitched a 2-0 shutout against the Atlanta Braves. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed. And the Dodgers were surging. 8 days before, it looked like they were nowhere. But when Welch pitched the shutout, the Dodgers moved to within a game and a half in the National League West, chasing the Braves. The 1-2 pitch inside. On July 30th, now get this, the Dodgers arrived in Atlanta for a doubleheader. July 30th, they were in third place. They were 10.5 games behind the Braves, and certainly almost everyone wrote them off, except the Dodgers. 2-2 pitch is lined to left, carrying well towards the seats, in the seats for a home run. So Michael Morse, among other things, who took a grand slam away from Matt Kemp, who played second base briefly last night when Jim Riggleman employed the so-called 6-man infield, now comes up and Michael hits it out. A line drive home run into the left field seats, and that makes it 4-1 Dodgers. For Morse, that would be his 8th home run, 20 runs batted in. And the batter now, Justin Maxwell. Admittedly, what the Dodgers did back in 1982 sounds almost impossible, but they did it. The pitch in for a strike. Starting on July 30th of 1982, the Dodgers won 12 of the next 13 games, including 8 in a row over the Braves. The strike one pitch, a towering fly ball to left. Back goes Plesetnik to the track at the wall. Gone. So Ted Lilly, who is basically a fly ball pitcher, gives up back-to-back home runs in the second inning, and the Dodger lead is 4-2. And the batter now will be Will Nieves, the catcher. Boy, was that thing hit up in the air. Going back on it, Plesetnik thought he might have a play all the way to the wall, but it carried into the seats. So with the home runs, that means Washington has hit 22 home runs on the road since the All-Star break. That's more than any club in the league. So 4-2 in favor of the Dodgers. And Will Nieves coming up. He had a scrambling first inning. Right-hand hitting catcher backing up Pudge Rodriguez. And he takes a little high, ball one. Nieves is from Santurce in Puerto Rico. He'll be 33 late in September. Originally signed by the Padres. The 1-0 pitch is hammered down the left field line, and this one goes foul as it carries into the stands. Boy, I'll tell you what, there's not that much of a difference between retiring 20 in a row and giving up back-to-back home runs. I mean, you're talking about a major league difference. And right now, Lilly gave up the home runs to Morris and Maxwell, and a 1-ball, 1-strike count, a line drive to Will Nieves, who has just one home run. Lilly's next pitch is swung on and missed, 1-2. Nieves signed by the Padres and actually came up in 2002. Then he went to the Yankees. He was with the Yankees briefly when Joe was over there. Swings at one, doesn't get it. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Will Nieves. He's been with the Nationals last couple of years. So a veteran catcher with a 1-2 count. His first name is Wilbert, but everybody just calls him Will. Lilly into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch off speed, pulled foul. So the Dodgers got 4 on a couple of singles, 3 stolen bases, 2 walks, an error on a sacrifice, and now the Nationals come back to cut the lead in half. 1-2 the count. And for Lilly, he is certainly unaccustomed to getting the runs. A breaking ball is swung on and missed, and that'll take care of Nieves. And Jason Marquis coming up. For Ted Lilly, as he stands out there by the mound, this is the first time in 20 starts that Lilly has been given as many as 4 runs to work with, and half of that's gone already. Ted into the windup now, and the pitch to Jason Marquis. He bats left-handed, and you have to say to yourself, you know, he's pretty smart, because he makes his living with his right arm. You say, why in the world would you bat left-handed? You'd protect that arm. Well, he does. He has a protective covering on the elbow. Not that he's been hit by pitches, but just in case. 0-2 the count. Here comes Lilly, works it away. 1-2 to Jason Marquis. 4 runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers, 2 runs, 3 hits for the Nationals. We're in the top of the second inning. The 1-2 pitch is fouled away. Well, still 1-2 to Jason Marquis. Ted Lilly, and we remember commenting about a fly ball pitcher and pitching in Wrigley Field. He's given up 23 home runs this year. Ground ball to shortstop. Carroll gets it over, and that's it for Marquis. But the Nationals get back in the game. 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 swings of the bat. And at the end of an inning and a half, 4-0 Dodgers. Home runs by Michael Morse and Justin Maxwell gets the Nationals back in the game. Now Jason Marquis getting ready to pitch to A.J. Ellis, followed by Ted Lilly and then Scott Posednik. Sunblock and water today. Plenty of both if you're sitting in the sun, and we got a lot of folks enjoying the ball game. Beautiful day at the start. It was 76 degrees. That's amazing, isn't it, on the 8th of August? So here we go in the second inning. Ellis batting 192. He and Brad Osmus doing the work now that Russell Martin is down. And the first pitch to A.J. swung on and missed in the count 0-1. Dodgers have a lot of work to do against Eastern Division teams. Pitch swung on and missed. They have today's game with Washington. Then they have 3 with Philadelphia. That's 4. They have 4 more with Atlanta. That's 8. And they've already played 2 with Washington. So they have a string of 10 games consecutively against Eastern Division teams. And as you know, the Dodgers have struggled against these. They're 9-13. So if they're going to climb the mountain, they're going to have to climb one of the highest. 1 ball and 2 strikes to A.J. Ellis. Marquis ready, comes back, and there's a towering drive to left field. Back goes Willingham on the track to make the catch, maybe 10 feet from the wall. That's marked 375. So 1 away, long out to left. You know, for a limited time, you can experience the Baseline Box Club. That's a 4-game plan. Offers big savings, preferred parking, club access, and if you act now, an invitation to the Dodgers premium seating batting practice party. For details, visit Dodgers.com/baseline or give us a call, 323-224-1320. Ted Lilly takes ball 1. 1-0 the count. Ted hits as he pitches, left-handed all the way, and he takes way off the plate. 2-0. Lilly 1 for 33. 0 for 2 as a Dodger. Lilly has struck out about half of his plate appearances. Dodgers 4, Nationals 2, bottom of the second inning. Marquis ready, comes back to Lilly, who holds up, and that's way outside. Ball 3. So Marquis got in a lot of trouble with a couple of walks in the first inning. We're going to have to scratch the count because we're going by the scoreboard and it's wrong. The next pitch is in for a strike, so that should make it 2-2. Scoreboard had it 3-0, 3-1, so somebody's got to get on the ball because that can really mess things up. Get the operator watching the pitches. And the next pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Ted Lilly. So 2 out in the second inning. That would be the second strikeout for Jason Marquis.
Scott Posednik.
Scott Posednik led off the ball game with a walk and then did what he can do, undo everything. The walk, then he had the stolen base, then there was the sacrifice by Terry Owen, and apparently rattled Marquis, couldn't pick the bunt up for an error. Then Terrio stole second after Posednik had scored. So it was a runaway first inning for the Dodgers when they stole 3 bases. Posednik takes high, ball 1, 1-0. 4-2 Dodgers second inning, final game of the homestand. Next time it will be the 17th of August right here with Colorado. The 1-0 pitch way outside, ball 2. Next homestand, 3 with the Rockies and 3 with Cincinnati. Dusty Baker returns to Los Angeles with a ball club that as of today is a game and a half in front of St. Louis. 2-0 pitch on the way, very high. So Jason struggling after the lengthy layoff, the arm surgery, bone chips removed, a lot of rehabs. He's behind now to Posednik, and the pitch in for a strike. Final score, the Rockies beat the Pirates 8-4. That brilliant young outfielder Carlos Gonzalez hit home run number 25, knocked in 3 to give him 77 RBIs. 3-1 pitch grounded up the middle. So more headache for Marquis as Posednik gets aboard. And the batter will be Ryan Theriot. Final score, the Braves really give the Giants a terrible time. Braves beat the Giants to sweep them 6-3. David Ross, Omar Infante homered against left-hander Jonathan Sanchez. Derek Lowe started, gave way to the bullpen in the 6th. They saved his 11th win. So the Giants take one on the chin. We'll wait and hear about San Diego. Throw to first, and Posednik back on the bag. The Padres are leading the D-backs 2-0 in the 3rd inning. They're starting Matt Latos against Joe Saunders. Of course, as far as Matt Latos and San Diego is concerned, Padres have to make a very big decision about the young 22-year-old. They were saying earlier they'll shut him down after 150 innings. Marquis ready, delivers, and it's a little high. However, if the Giants continue to hang tough and if the Dodgers make a move and come up on the inside, the pressure on the Padres will be enormous. I mean, what do you do with a 22-year-old who's an outstanding young pitcher? Do you make him pitch over 150 because of the pennant race and perhaps risk his future? It'll be a tough one. Meanwhile, 1 ball and no strikes to Ryan Theriot. Posednik off the bag. Marquis very conscious of him, turns and throws over there. 1 ball and no strikes. Scott Posednik giving the Dodgers some true wheels over. 4 for 4 as a Dodger in stolen bases. Poised and at the ready, not going. And Theriot takes a shot to right field. Pop fly. Going out as Gonzalez. One-hands it inside the foul line. Wow, nice play by the Washington second baseman. So no runs, a hit, a man left. And at the end of 2, 4-2 Dodgers. It'll be the leadoff man, Alberto Gonzalez, who made that nice running catch of the pop fly by Theriot. That saved a run. And the right-hand hitting second baseman takes a breaking ball strike, and the count 0-1. So Ted Lilly and Jason Marquis The strike one pitch on the way. Gonzalez out in front of it. 0-2 the count. Alberto hitting .288, 3 runs batted in. Lilly, who doesn't fool around, comes right back, and it swung on and missed. Looked like he threw a changeup and kind of turned it over a little bit, and down and sunk, and Gonzalez went after it. So Lilly picks up his second strikeout and make it his third. And the batter, Ian Desmond, the shortstop. Desmond burned the Dodgers in the first inning, pushing a bunt up along first base and avoiding the attempted tag by James Loney. He shows bunt and takes a strike. Of course, he would love to get the corners very interested in a bunt possibility again, because if they move up, he's got a shot. Desmond hitting .263, right-hand hitter, takes one in there, and the count 0-2. Desmond with a fine arm. The scouts have a scale of throwing from 20 to 80. Here's the strike two pitch. They tell me that Desmond's about 60 to 65. Went to Saratoga High School in Florida. Originally a third-round pick by the Expos. 1-2 pitch to Ian. And it's a hopper into left field, and he spanked that thing. Over to get it is Posednik. So Desmond 2 for 2 with a hard single to left field. And the batter now, Ryan Zimmerman. So with Zimmerman's power, you can say certainly that Washington has the potential tying run at the plate. Zimmerman 22 home runs, 63 runs batted in. When he homered in the first inning last night, he also walked. He has reached first base 23 consecutive games. And the pitch to him is high. He almost reached again, except Matt Kemp took his drive before it hit the right center field wall. 1 ball and no strikes. Zim hitting .299. 22 home runs, 63 runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch on the way is taken for a strike. 1-1. Zimmerman last night came up posing a definite threat and struck out in the 10th inning. A couple of men on base. Then the Dodgers came back in the bottom of the 10th and won it. 1-1 the count. Lilly ready, delivers, works it low and inside at Zimmerman's right foot. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. When Washington arrived here, we talked about the fact they have a lot of power, and it's how they have scored throughout the series. The 2-1 pitch swung on and fouled back. All of the Nationals' runs in the series have come on home runs. And with 2 home runs today, they continue to play the long ball. They've hit 105 home runs. The Dodgers, 81. That's a big difference. 2-2 the count to Ryan Zimmerman. Here's the 2-2 pitch coming up. Lilly delivers just inside. Fastball that missed the inside corner. So 3-2 the count to Zimmerman. Desmond at first base runs well. He's stolen 10 out of 13, and he stole second in the first inning to make it 11 out of 14. So we'll see if they run him 3-2 with Zim. Lilly out of a stretch. Runner not going, and it's popped up. Backing out, Ryan Theriot fighting the sun, fighting, and one-hands it. Boy, that was tough. Remember, we were talking about Matt Kemp when he caught the ball that Zimmerman hit in the first inning. First thing he was talking to Ethier about was the sun, and Ethier, shades drawn, and just did stay with it. 2 down in the third, and Adam Dunn coming up. Dunn is pretty much Adam Dunn in this series. He had 2 home runs to drive in 6 in the first game. Then he struck out. Then last night he struck out twice. Adam holds up and the pitch is low. And then he struck out today. So he has 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in, and he has struck out 4 times. But that's Adam. So the big left-hand hitter with a wide open stance, and the 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's on the outside corner for a strike. The Dodgers don't have a triangle anymore because they have 2 men in right field. So Belliard all alone. Dodgers with Carroll and Terrio on the grass. There goes the runner, and the throw to first, down to second, not in time. So it looked like they might have had Desmond picked off, but he's able to beat the throw to Jamie Carroll. So now with a runner at second, the Dodgers rearrange their furniture again. So Desmond has stolen 2 by himself. The Dodgers have 3. So we've had 5 stolen bases in 2 2/3 innings. Now Terrio is all alone on the grass. Carroll comes back to his side of the bag, and Ronnie Belliard playing deep at third. The 1-1 pitch to Adam Dunn is swung on, and a big league foul ball behind the plate. That should go right through the concrete when it lands. Still 1-2. The big boy out of Porter, Texas. We've talked about it before. It's a little town in Texas, and there is a macadam road off the highway, and that's Dunn Lane. There are 9 houses on that road, all owned by members of the Dunn family. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming up. Terrio ready, deals, slow curveball, got him looking. Oh. So a big rainbow curve. Dunn strikes out again. And at the end of 2.5 innings, Dodgers 4, Nationals 2. Making Adam Dunn the scapegoat. He has struck out 5 times now in the 3 games. But what it is to point up, the Nationals are 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position. That one was a home run hit by Dunn with 2 men aboard, one of whom was in scoring position. So 4-2 Dodgers. Line drive by Ethier, foul down the right field line. And the count 0-1 in the stands and out again. So Michael Morse over to pick it up. and gets it back into the crowd. Andre hitting .298, walked and came around to score in that wild first inning. Marquis ready and delivers, and that's a big league pop fly and fouled round. Will Nieves, the catcher, makes it for the out. So Ethier fouls out, and we have one down in the third inning. You know, you can take advantage of a winning combination on your way to the stadium this year. Go Metro to Union Station. Connect with the Dodger Stadium Express. Your ticket to the game grants you a free ride starting 90 minutes before every game. For more information, visit Dodgers.com/express. One away in the third. Here's James Loney. Loney singled in a run in the first inning. James hitting .289. 8 home runs, 68 runs batted in, takes ball one. If you joined us late, the Dodgers scored 4 in the first inning. They had 3 stolen bases, and there was an error. A couple of walks. Loney takes off the plate. The Nationals came back with back-to-back home runs by Michael Morse and Justin Maxwell, and that's it. It's 4-2 Dodgers. Were in the bottom of the third. Jason Marquis coming back and delivers. Fly ball to center. Just waiting for it is Justin Maxwell, and he puts it away. So 2 down in the third inning. Jason Marquis, he had arm surgery. He had a 4-start rehab in Syracuse. You know, he's one of only 10 big league pitchers to record a double-digit win total every year since 2004. And the only one to turn the trick exclusively in the National League. Right-hander delivers, and the first pitch in for a strike to Matt Kemp. When he was with St. Louis, Marquis won 15, 13, 14, and then 12 and 11 with Chicago. Next pitch foul back. 0-2 the count. Another thing about Marquis, you certainly have to label him a winner as he's working on Matt Kemp. Jason Marquis, the only player in Major League Baseball whose club has reached the postseason each of the last 10 years. Of course, it's not going to happen this year unless he winds up in the last month clearing waivers and with a ball club that's right there. His 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed. Down goes Matt Kemp, and the Dodgers in order for the first time. And at the end of 3, Dodgers 4, Nationals 2. In the box, Right now, get Jack's really big chicken sandwich combo served with curly fries and a drink for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. Fourth inning, 4-2 Dodgers on a real estate day in Southern California. Boy, is it ever. Josh Willingham, Michael Morse, Justin Maxwell in that order. Willingham popped up in the second, and Lilly works away, ball one, 1-0. One thing about Jason Marquis, the opposing pitcher, he has certainly changed out there on the mound. 32 pitches in the first inning. Jason made 16 pitches in the second inning and only 9 pitches in the third, so he's starting to feel at home. Lilly, meanwhile, came in having made 55 pitches in the first 3 innings. Line drive that turns him around, smothered by Theriot to get him. Wow. Ryan Theriot everywhere, and that ball almost got something of left-hander Ted Lilly. That would knock the petals off the Lilly for sure. So Theriot, great play to take a hit away from Willingham. And here's Michael Morse, who homered in the second inning. So the former Cubs, now Dodgers, one helping out the other, and one away. Ball one. Morse homered in the second inning. He has 8 home runs, 20 runs batted in, and of course the home run has always been the nemesis for Lilly. That's a strike. 1-1. Lilly gave up 20 home runs, understandably, when he was pitching for the Cubs at Wrigley. And he has given up 3 as a Dodger. So 23 home runs given up. Off speed, just slides that little curveball in there. 1-2 the count. Dodgers 4, Nationals 2, top of the 4th inning. Fastball in there. So Morse rides the elevator, penthouse to the basement, home run to strikeout, 2 down. The power for the Nationals exploded in the second inning with 1 out. First it was Michael Morse, and he shelled one without a doubt. That thing got there in a hurry. And then a monstrous fly ball home run by Maxwell that carried into the seats. The Nationals left Desmond at second base in the first inning. They left Desmond at second base in the third inning. And that one lifted a trio of Dodgers. Matt Kemp is the one fighting the sun and makes the catch. Boy, it's tough out there. So Matt stays with it, and the Nationals go down in order for the first time. And at the end of 3.5, 4-2 Dodgers. Baseball on Prime Ticket is brought to you by Toyota. Get a great deal on Toyota's full line of hybrid and fuel-efficient vehicles at your Toyota dealer today. And by K-Swiss. I must go down to the sea one day, to the lonely sea in the sky. And all I ask is a good boat and a star to steer me by. And there's somebody out there sailing serenely along. Meanwhile, we go to the bottom of the fourth, 4-2 in favor of the Dodgers. Belliard, ground ball to Gonzalez, thrown away. Jason Marquis, returning from surgery after a 3.5-month stay on the DL. He had bone chips removed from his right elbow in the middle of May. That was in May 14th. Then he began throwing a month after surgery. And Washington, happy to see him back. They had signed him to a 2-year deal. And a strike to Jamie Carroll. Carroll singled to drive in a run. Jamie hitting .275, 16 runs batted in. A one-hopper by Ryan Zimmerman and down the line. So into second base goes Carroll. Finally coming up with the ball is Willingham. So a one-out double by Jamie Carroll will bring up A.J. Ellis. So Jamie, who has just been an outstanding ball player, making tremendous contributions day after day, and especially now when they need him so desperately, he has just really met the challenge while Rafael Furcal heals. So Jamie doubles. Dodgers lead 4-2, 1 out. Here's Ellis, skied to left field in the second inning. And he probably whacks it in the gap, and that's going to go to the wall. So Carroll will score on a double by A.J. Ellis, and the Dodgers lead 5-2, back-to-back doubles. Dodgers now 5 runs on 5 hits. So Marquis, who looked like he was settling down, retiring 5 in a row, and is suddenly clipped. And we're waiting now for Ted Lilly. With 1 out, Lilly struck out back in the second inning, and the Nationals are thinking that the left-hand batter might try to bunt. Sacrifice on deck, Scott Posednik. Marquis is due to bat second in the 5th inning, but he's on very thin ice. Batista and Slayton. The bunt is down, and it's picked up by Nieves, who makes the play to Adam Dunn. And as anticipated, the sacrifice works. Ellis goes to third, and Posednik will be coming up with 2 out. So Posednik coming up. Jason Marquis had only been in 3 games, had only worked 8 innings. He did have a wild pitch. So he's got a runner at third with 2 down. And here's Posednik, walked and singled, scored a run, hitting .214. Always shows bunt, takes a strike. Joe Torre, in talking about Scott Posednik before the game, this is a quote. He said, "I really feel Posednik will be a big part of our offense, producing when it comes around." Well, it was typical. He's had a walk and a single. He has scored a run, stolen a base. Breeze blowing out to right field. Foul back. 0-2. 5-2 Dodgers, 4th inning. Giants lost. Yeah, the Braves nailed them again. We'll have to double check on San Diego. Braves beat the Giants 6-3. Rockies beat the Pirates 8-4. And the Padres are leading the D-backs 2-0 in the 4th inning behind Matt Latos. In the dirt. Nice save by Nieves. So 1-2 the count to Scott Posednik with Ryan Theriot on deck. Marquis, right foot on the rubber, deep in thought. Now he's ready. Two and two. Little ground ball. Dunn comes over and leaves the bag, and the throw to first just in time. The Marquis, the veteran pitcher, alertly covering. Very close play at first. Dodgers pick up one and lead 5-2. Ticket is brought to you by 76 Gasoline. We're on the driver's side. 5-2 in favor of the Dodgers. We work our way to the 5th inning. Will Nieves, the catcher, then Jason Marquis comes out on deck, so he's staying in. And then Alberto Gonzalez. Nieves struck out in the 2nd inning. The backup catcher to Pudge Rodriguez. Ball 1. Rodriguez is somewhat of a marvel. He'll be 39 in November and hitting .264. He's caught in 79 games. One reason, he is an extremely hard worker. Not only does Pudge Rodriguez travel with his own personal trainer, he works out in the hotel workout room every day on the road as well as home. So that's why Pudge has had such a long career. But he has the day off. When Nieves drives one to left field, that's going to go to the wall. So the catcher hits the bag, keeps on going, and he has himself a stand-up double. And Jason Marquis coming up.
For the Nationals, pitcher number 21, Jason Marquis.
So Will Nieves doubles in the gap after the Dodgers put together doubles by Carroll and Ellis for a run in the 4th. But again, remember, Washington 1 for 14 with runners in scoring position, and that was a home run by Adam Dunn. You would expect Marquis to be bunting. We'll see. He shows bunt. Takes a strike. Plate umpire is Jim Wolf, Randy's brother. Been umpiring in the big leagues 9 years. Graduate of El Camino High School. The bunt is down. Belliard has to come and get it. So that moves the runner to third easily. Nice bunt by Marquis. And now with a runner at third and one out before the next hitter, Gonzalez, a trivia question. Adam Dunn, one of 8 players ever with 5 straight 40 home run seasons. Who's the only Dodger on that list? One of 8. Well, the answer in a little while. Here's Gonzalez. Grounded out, struck out. The run is there for the taking. The infield is back. It's 5-2 Dodgers. And a fly ball deep enough to make Kemp go back. The catch, and here comes the run. So Gonzalez picks his man up. That makes it 5-3 in favor of the Dodgers.
For the Nationals, shortstop, Ian Desmond.
Ian Desmond coming up. So Nieves pumped up a little bit with a double, scoring on the fly ball. Ian Desmond, a bunt single to left, and has stolen 2 bases. That's right. 0-1. Desmond has stolen 12 out of 15. Good looking young ball player. Hitting .265. And a ground ball to Carroll. Low throw, and Loney can't come up with it. The Carroll will draw a throwing error as James unable to pick it, and that will bring up Ryan Zimmerman, representing again the tying run. So Carroll making a poor throw. Loney trying to backhand it out of the dirt, and it just spilled out of his glove. So that's a break for the Nationals. And here is Zimmerman. So Jamie throws one in the dirt, and Zimmerman a long out. Matt Kemp made a great running catch of his drive in the first inning. Last time up, Ryan popped up. So we'll see what happens here. And we'll also keep an eye on Desmond with his 2 stolen bases. Fastball, ball 1. Ryan with 22 home runs, 63 runs batted in. Very good hitter, batting .298. A big bouncer to Carroll, quickly down to second. That's enough. They get the 4th play, and that ends the inning. So the Nationals get 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left, and at the end, 4.5, 5-3 Dodgers. climax of the game would be the Dodgers in the first inning. First of all, they had a bunt that was dropped by Marquis. That put runners at first and second. Then on the walk to Ethier following Terrio steal and a bad play at the plate, Scott Posednik scored. Then there was a base hit by Loney to pick one up. Then there was another ground ball base hit into center field. So the Dodgers wound up scoring 4. And the Nationals have not been able to recover since. And it's 5-3 with Terrio at the plate. A strike. 0-1. Terrio, Ethier, and Loney in that order. Terrio sacrifice, reached down an error, and popped up. That pop fly was a fine running catch by Alberto Gonzalez just inside the right field foul line. He one-handed it. Otherwise, it looked like Posednik would have scored. Good play by Alberto. 0-2. And he is plunked in the back. So Ryan Terrio takes one for the club to open up matters in the 5th inning. Slider that didn't quite slide properly. For Terrio, that would be the 3rd time he's been hit by a pitch. First time as a Dodger. And I think that's going to be enough for Jason Marquis. It is. The Dodgers have Ethier and Loney back-to-back left-handers, so they bring in the left-hand pitcher, Doug Slayton, and we'll be back. To you by Corona. Five to 3 in favor of the Dodgers. Jason Marquis back in the dugout to catch his breath, and the left-handed Doug Slayton will pick up for him. So Marquis is charged with 5 runs, but you have to keep the door open. Ryan Terrio at first base is also his responsibility. 4 innings plus and 5 runs. Doug Slayton made short shrift of the Dodgers last night. He came in, got 2 quick outs on 7 pitches. And now Doug will face Ethier and Loney here in the 5th inning with a runner at first. Slayton is 6'5" and about 200 pounds. He was born in Venice, California. Doug went to Los Angeles Pierce Junior College and was originally signed by the Diamondbacks 10 years ago. Ethier batting .297 at the plate. Breaking ball up, ball one. Terrio runs the bases very well. He has stolen 16 out of 22, and then he stole today for his 17th. So they bring the left-hander in to kind of neutralize him as well as Ethier. 1-1. Doug came up with the Diamondbacks in '06, stayed with them until last year, and then came to the Nationals this year. 1 ball and 1 strike. Good breaking ball. 1-2 the count. Slayton, fastball, kind of a slurvy curve. Half seems to be slider, half curveball, and a very good changeup. 1-2. We mentioned it last night when he was in there briefly. A couple of years ago, Doug underwent microfracture surgery on his right knee. He's had 4 knee surgeries, 2 on each. First surgery came when he was 16. As he said, I've had knee problems, knee pain for as long as I can remember. Terrio goes, Dunn gets it down to shortstop, and Ryan Terrio is hung out to dry. So it was an ideal situation for Jim Riggleman. I'll bring in my left-hander to neutralize Terrio and perhaps neutralize Ethier as well. Well, he's got his first objective. He's gotten Terrio. And he has a 1-2 count to Andre Ethier. Because Riggleman is a young, bright manager and very, very knowledgeable. And sure enough, Slayton has done both. He's got the runner and he gets the hitter. 2 down. It was Jim last night who brought in Michael Morse to play second base. They had 3 men on the right side, 2 on the left, and with a pitcher on the mound, they always call it a 6-man infield. And it worked to a degree. It worked to the degree that Terrio hit a ball up the middle last night that would have been a base hit to win it, and Michael Morse, the right fielder, was the second baseman to get an out. It couldn't work with a regular setup when James Loney got that line drive base hit to win it, but it showed you that Riggleman was not only thinking, but he was adventuresome, and it was a great idea. 0-1 to James Loney. The Padres are breezing now in Arizona. They're leading the D-backs 6-0. They just scored 4 in the 5th inning. Scott and Jerry Hairston have knocked in 3. Adrian Gonzalez knocked in another 2. So Matt Latos pitching a shutout, leading 6-0. Remember, the Giants lost. So the Padres would increase their lead over San Francisco to 2. Colorado 1. And the Dodgers would stay 7 back if they can win this one. Bailed on the breaking ball that was in for a strike. You see Loney back off. 2-2 the count. It will be Adam Dunn, Josh Willingham, and Michael Morse in the 6th inning for Washington. Yes, sir. Doug Slayton comes in, picks off Terrio, strikes out Ethier and Loney. You can't ask more for him. And at the end of 5-3 Dodgers. game over, game over. Well, on this day in 2003, Eric Gagne came in and saved his 39th consecutive save. He went on to have 55 saves in 2003 and the eventual record of 84. And with that, let's get back to this one. Breaking ball in for a strike as we start the sixth with big Adam Dunn, who has struck out twice today, and the big man has gone down 5 times in the series. But that's what you get. Pretty much feast or famine. Adam is hitting .276, 30 home runs, 77 runs batted in. 2 big home runs, each with 2 men aboard in the first game. Dodgers again, 3 men out there on the right side. 1-2 the count. But they are more severe than when Adrian Gonzalez is here. Usually only Terrio is on the grass, but not here. And a foul ball off to the left, out of play. The Dodger setup today, they have the third baseman, Ronnie Belliard, way out on the grass. And then Ryan Terrio. So Jamie Carroll is all alone. So they keep moving it around a little bit. 1-2. Curveball. If ever anybody throws strikes, it's Ted Lilly. That's one reason why he does give up home runs. He has not walked a batter in his 12 innings with the Dodgers, and he's had only 2 3-ball counts in those 12 innings. And that's going to be a little pop fly, and Jamie Carroll puts it away. 1 down. Talking about Lilly, we can take a look at his work today throwing strikes. And it all began in the first inning with Adam Dunn. After Dunn, he got the catcher Will Nieves, then Alberto Gonzalez, and for good measure Adam Dunn again. Then Michael Morse, a fastball looking. So he has struck out 5. And with 1 out in the 6th inning, here is Willingham, who has popped up, grounded out, takes a strike. (5-3) in favor of the Dodgers. We're in the 6th inning. Chasing that pitch down and away. That's a great changeup he has. He throws it with the exact same arm speed. And not only is it off speed, but it seems to sink. 0-2. Well, he came right back with another one. 1-2 the count. Ted's been pitching professionally since 1996. He started in Yakima, Washington, pitched locally in San Bernardino, got all the way to Albuquerque before leaving the Dodger organization and going to Montreal. And down goes Willingham. 6 strikeouts for Ted Lilly. And Michael Morse coming up. Charlie Huff had a lot to do with the development of Ted Lilly. Of course, Charlie, a successful major league pitcher in his own right, and very, very intelligent in the art of pitching, and a lot of young pitchers have profited by him. Ted had a scholarship offered to Cal State Fullerton, but he signed with the Dodgers instead. Morse homered and struck out. Don't forget the importance of the schedule for the Washington Nationals as far as the Eastern Division. They have 18 games left, 9 with Atlanta, 9 with Philadelphia. And they have won 5 of 9 from Atlanta, 4 of 9 from Philadelphia. So Riggleman's ball club is certainly going to figure prominently in who winds up winning the East. Popped in the air, foul, and out of play. There was a time when Ted Lilly was pitching and Joe Torre was his manager with the Yankees back in 2001. There was a little bit of a throwing contest with the Angels. Breaking ball hit to short. Jamie Carroll kind of does a shuffle and then gets it low, but this time Loney saves him. We'll tell you about Lilly and the Yankees and the Angels when we come back. It's 5-3 Dodgers. Running down a long drive by Ryan Zimmerman in the first inning. Matt lunging to catch it just before he hit the wall. And one of the first reactions he had was showing Andre Ethier how tough it was fighting the sun. So he had to run a long way, he had to catch the ball and find it in the glare, and he did it all. Meanwhile, he will be facing Miguel Batista. Miguel has been around. He started pitching professionally in 1990. 39 years old, from the Dominican. Originally signed by the Montreal Expos in 1988. In case you don't know the story about Miguel Batista, we repeated it. Actually, we mentioned it last night. We'll repeat it today. There was a game in Washington where highly touted Steven Strasburg was going to pitch, and so it was a sellout. Standing room only. They were hanging from the rafters. And Strasburg went to the bullpen and couldn't get loose. So who came out to start the game but Miguel Batista? Ball 1 to Matt Kemp. Well, the crowd went crazy. They booed. You know, one of those, I paid my good money to see Strasburg. What am I doing looking at this guy? He's been around forever. But he understood. But then he had a fateful comment after the game. 1-1. After the game, he said, "Oh, I understood." He said it would be like expecting to see Miss America and getting Miss Iowa. Whoa. The people in Iowa were up in arms. What's wrong with our girl? What's wrong with Iowa? So the next thing you know, the Washington Nationals did a very smart thing. They invited Miss Iowa to Washington, D.C. Chopper foul. And Miss Iowa threw out the first ball, had her picture taken. There she is, waving to the crowd. Had her picture taken with Miguel Batista. So it worked out very, very well. The young lady from Iowa. And there's Miguel. Great moment. Good for all of them. So now he's back to working. 1-2 the count. Strike 3, got the inside corner. So for Matt Kemp, he is having one of those days. They all go through it. For Kemp, it's the third time he has struck out today. So Matt goes back in the shade of the dugout, one away. And Ronnie Belliard hit into a force play, stole a base, scored a run, grounded out. 0 for 2. 1 ball and no strikes. We always refer to Miguel Batista as a poet. He first came up to the big leagues in 1997 with the Cubs. Fastball misses. He's a published poet. He's also an aspiring crime novelist, somewhat of a deep thinker. He's had one book of poetry published, and he's working on another. Strike. 2-1. He's finally had one book published in the Dominican Republic, naturally in Spanish. And he's going to get a base hit. Ian Desmond tried to nail it, just missed. So Belliard a single, Jamie Carroll coming up. Remember the trivia question we were talking about a little while ago? Adam Dunn, one of 8 players ever with 5 straight 40 home run season. Who's the only Dodger on the list? And you're right on the money if you said the Duke. Duke Snider, 1953 through 57. The record for consecutive 40 home run seasons, by the way, Babe Ruth 7. Dunn's had it 5 years. But then last year Dunn missed. He hit 38. That's a strike. 0-1 the count. Jamie Carroll single to center, double to left. Belliard at first. Of course, the Dodgers ran a bit on the battery of Marquis and Nieves in the first inning when they stole 3. Terrio was picked off in the 5th by Doug Slayton. 0-1. There goes Belliard. Hit and run ground ball. Perfectly executed. Desmond had broken to cover. And it's interesting that Desmond would break. You have a right-hand hitter up there. And in that situation, you would expect that Gonzalez would break to cover. But maybe they felt that Jamie was going to go the other way. But it's a little odd to see a shortstop break on a hit and run play. Break to cover with a right-hand batter. So Carroll comes up with his 3rd hit. Dodgers are at first and third with 1 out. Tyler Clippard, a right-hander, is down in the bullpen, and we'll see what Jim Riggleman does now. Dodgers at first and third. Riggs will stay with Batista with A.J. Ellis coming up. And before Ellis can come up, Larry Boa over to say something to him. And the big catcher coming up to the plate. Coming out on deck, interesting enough, is the newest Dodger. Ted Lilly has made enough pitches, 88. And Jay Gibbons coming out of the dugout. He will be hitting for Lilly. Right now, first and third, 1 out, and Ellis at the plate. So Ted made 87 pitches in 7 innings his last start, 88 pitches in 6 innings today. Slider, ball 1, 1-0. Ellis again checking with Boa, who talked to him before he went up to the plate. Talking before about Miguel Batista when he was with the Diamondbacks. 1-0. Foul ball, so we can tell you. I've seen a lot of things in players' lockers. You know, pin-up pictures, pictures of families, whatever. Batista had a picture of Albert Einstein, a poster of him in his locker. Kind of as you went by, you nodded. 1-1 the count to Ellis. He's flied deep to left and doubled. Trying to pick up Belliard at third, Carroll at first with one away. Dodgers lead 5-3. A look, no throw. Doesn't work very often, but once in a while. Five-3 Dodgers looking for more here in the sixth inning. Foul back, 1-2. Batista, despite the fact he's been pitching forever, 1990, I mean 20 years, that's forever, he's still throwing 93. He's 6'1", 195. And he's been with a lot of clubs. First the Pirates, then the Marlins, the Cubs, the Expos, the Royals, the Diamondbacks, the Blue Jays, the Mariners, and the Nationals. Off the rubber. 1-2 to A.J. Ellis. Fastball on the hands, and he turns on it, and it's foul. So A.J. Ellis pulling that sharply down the line. And the runners go back. Carroll to first, Belliard to third, and A.J. back up. Whack. 1-2. Ellis taking a little stroll. First he wanted to check the bat. Then his batting glove. And here he comes. Five runs, 7 hits for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 5 hits for the Nationals. They've made 2 errors. The Dodgers have made 1. Infield and double play depth. Time. Miguel is from Santo Domingo in the Dominican, but he lives in Fort Lauderdale now. Almost got him. 2-2. Ellis trying to keep it alive. A.J. hitting 204. 9 runs batted in, including today's double that chased home Jamie Carroll, who had doubled ahead of him. Two and 2. And a little pop fly. It'll be caught by Gonzalez. So with 2 out, Jay Gibbons just called up from Albuquerque. Jay is from Rochester, Michigan. He lives in Simi Valley. He was originally a 14th round pick by the Blue Jays out of Cal State, L.A. back in 1998. Hit as many as 28 home runs for Baltimore 8 years ago. He had 26 for Baltimore 5 years ago. He had 19 this year. He was just too big for the league at Albuquerque. 19 home runs, and 83 RBIs in just 93 games. So a veteran left-hand hitter coming up. As a kid, Gibbon, who is 6 feet 205, played a lot of soccer through his junior year in high school. Didn't like football much. And ball one. Jay went to Mayfair High in Lakewood and was not drafted, so he went to Cal State LA, a division school. One ball and no strikes. Fouled away. Jay and Orlando Hudson were teammates with the Orioles. They started out in Medicine Hat, first year of pro ball. Jay's father is 6 feet 8. Played basketball at Michigan State. 1-1 pitch to Jay Gibbons. Ball 2, 2-1. Where his father is 6 feet 8, Jay said his mom is 5 feet 2. When he was a freshman, going to be a sophomore, he only weighed 165 pounds. So that summer, Jay got a job with a construction crew. That's when he started to put muscle aboard. He also took up weightlifting, and he's now 205 pounds. 2-1 to Jay Gibbons. Big bouncer up the middle, base hit. The scoring is Belliard, and Jay Gibbons breaks in with the Dodgers with a single up the middle and a run batted in. And the Dodgers now lead 6-3. The Scott Posednik will come up. Belliard brings home the runs. Carroll goes to third. Still only one out. And now Jim Riggleman is going to talk to the plate umpire, and that always means a double switch. And they will bring Roger Bernardina, an outfielder, in at the same time as the bullpen. Dodger pen has Kenley Jansen warming up. So there's a lot going on with the Dodgers leading 6-3, and we'll be back. As a Dodger and as a pinch hitter, singles up the middle to drive in a run. A nice way for him to break in. And the Dodgers open it up a little bit. They chase Batista. They have a 6-3 lead. Jim Riggleman now brings in Roger Bernardina. the kid from Curacao, and we might have it. We wondered about a battle between the two boys from Curacao, and we ought to see it in the 7th inning, because Roger Bernardina in right field is going to bat 9th, which means he will hit 3rd against Kenley Jansen from Curacao. Meanwhile, Tyler Clippard, 6'4", about 175, originally signed by the Yankees. He's out of Lexington, Kentucky. And Scott Posednik up there with 2 out. Runners at 1st and 3rd. And fouls it away. So Jamie Carroll down the line from 3rd. Jay Gibbons at 1st. 2 out. 6-3 Dodgers. The Padres have opened it wide open. They're now leading 8-0, so it would appear they have a lock on that game. And the Giants will fall back to trail by 2. 0-1 to Posednik. Posednik has walked, stole a base, singled, grounded out. Scotty's speed, of course, makes him an overall threat. 1st and 3rd, 2 down, 1 in. Very light breeze blowing to right field. 1-1. Big overhand breaking ball. 2-1 the count. Down in the shadows of the dugout, Ted Lilly sitting back. 87 pitches, looking again, no walks. Trying for his 2nd victory as a Dodger. That's ball 3. Clippard, fastball, curveball, and a changeup. Like Lilly, Clippard is a fly ball pitcher. Three and 1. Pop foul behind the plate, out of play. Dodgers with runners at the corners, Carroll and Gibbons. They're not holding Gibbons. Dunn is back of him. 3-2. Gibbons ready to move. There he goes on ball 4. So Posednik draws a walk to load him up. And with the bases loaded and 2 out, Ryan Theriot will be coming up. Ryan Theriot today, sacrifice, reached on the error by Marquis. Jason just didn't pick up the bunt, couldn't do it. Theriot stole a base, popped out on a nice running catch by Alberto Gonzalez, and last time up was hit by a pitch and picked off by Doug Slayton. So Theriot hitting .282 with 2 down and the bases loaded. And ball 1. So Carroll is at 3rd, Gibbons at 2nd, Posednik at 1st. 2 out, a run in. One ball, no strikes. 1-1. On deck, Andre Ethier. Fouled off to the right, out of play. 1-2 to Ryan. Theriot has one grand slam. He hit it last year against the Florida Marlins in Wrigley Field. So he's got Messrs. Carroll and Gibbons and Posednik out on the lines. 2 out, a run in, 6-3 Dodgers. Bottom of the 6th. And a fly ball on the dead run is Maxwell to pick it off. So the Dodgers scramble for 1, lead 3. Ted Lilly will call it a day, and the Dodgers lead 6-3 to the 7th. Dodgers leading 6-3 as we go to the 7th inning. It'll be Justin Maxwell, Will Nieves, and then Roger Bernardina, and that'll be the battle of the 2 guys from Curaçao in the Netherlands Antilles. Kenley Jansen, about 6'6", 220. Kenley 23 come the end of September. Signed by the Dodgers in 2004. That's a fastball with a lot of movement on it. He's the young man who was signed as a catcher by Camilo Pascual. Didn't hit enough, sent him to the mound, and 1 year later he was in the big leagues. 1-1 the count. Justin Maxwell homered and flied to center. One and two. Jansen, in his brief time with the Dodgers, has been very impressive. They even had him close a game. 2-2. He has not given up a run. He's allowed 2 hits in 5 innings. He has walked 2 and struck out 7. And promptly banged into left field. Base hit. Posednik up with it. So Maxwell, a home run and now a single. And the batter will be the catcher, Will Nieves. You know, a reminder, bring your kids to Dodger Stadium, and with a purchase of every adult ticket on the field or Lowe's level, kids 14 and under, just $5. For details, visit Dodgers.com/specials. Can you imagine being 14 or under, sitting in a field or Lowe's level seat for $5? What a thrill. Maxwell at first. Nieves struck out and doubled. Scored a run. Ball one. Dodgers moving around a little bit in the bullpen. Though we might have a little activity in a minute. It's Octavio Dotel who will start to warm up. 1-0 the count to Will Nieves. Maxwell hasn't played that much, but he has stolen 4 out of 5, just enough to put a little pressure on Jansen. One and one. Jansen with an electric fastball. Nieves followed by Bernardina. One and two. The Nationals go home following the game. The Dodgers spend Sunday night at home and then leave tomorrow for a 3-game series in Philadelphia, a 4-game series in Atlanta, including a Monday night game at 7:10 in Atlanta. Fly all night to play Colorado Tuesday. Popped up. Let's see who it will be. It will be Loney. And he was fighting the sun. So Loney does a good job. 1 away. And now the two fellas from Curacao. Bernardina is 26. Jansen will not be 23 until the end of September. Bernardino was drafted in 2001 by the Expos. The Dodgers signed Jansen in 2004. So there is that 3-year difference. Of course, Curacao has to be pretty small. Somewhere along the line, you have to figure they played against each other or even together. Andrew Jones, Jared Jurgens of Atlanta. And these two. Strike. Bernardina, 6'2", 200-pounder, hitting .277. He has 7 home runs, 31 runs batted in. He started last night, had an infield single and a walk. Finished up the first game for Michael Morse. So Maxwell at first, 1 out, 7th inning, 6-3 Dodgers. San Diego was winning easily. The Giants lost. Strike. The Rockies won. So you assume San Diego will win. Rockies will remain 6.5 back. Giants will fall 2 back. And the Dodgers trying to hold on to trail by 7. 1-1. Foul back. This is also for the Dodgers game number 112. So all of a sudden there are 50 games left. 5-0. Casey Blake, they also serve, who only spray and wait as he cools off Kershaw and Billingsley. 1-2 the count. On the corner. So Jansen takes care of Bernardina in their first head-to-head battle in the major leagues. And the battle will be Alberto Gonzalez. We were talking a minute ago about something about which we have no knowledge, Curaçao in the Netherlands. I was there once, but I don't know anything about it. I do remember all the houses, the buildings, were pastel colors. It was beautiful, all one. Anyway, Rob Menchel went to the computer. Curaçao is 171 square miles, a population of 141,000. Los Angeles, 498 square miles. One ball and no strikes. We have two down. Maxwell at first. 6-3 Dodgers. Gonzalez in the leadoff spot. 0 for 2 with a scoring fly ball. 1-1 to count. Kenley Jansen given a lead and asked to protect it. Gave up a base hit, then got the next 2 outs. He's just throwing nice and easy at 93. 1-2. Fouled and down he goes, and an angry Gonzalez hurls his bat away and helmet in frustration. No runs, 1 hit. Kenley Jansen strikes out 2 in the inning. Nice performance. The crowd will be asked to join in singing God Bless America and Take Me Out to the Ball Game.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Performed today by a talented singer, songwriter, and KWM recording artist. Please welcome Amanda September.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above, from the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Amanda September.
James Loney and Matt Kemp against Tyler Clippard. Dodgers certainly started off on the right foot. 4 runs in the first inning, and the Nationals have not been able to recover. They came back with 2 in the second, but the Dodgers have held on to the 3-run advantage, and that's ball 1 to Ethier. Andre walked, scored a run, fouled out, struck out, has a little 7-game hitting streak, batting .297. 2-0. It's been Marquis, Slayton, Batista, and Clippard. The Dodgers with Lilly and Jansen. That's a strike. 2-1 the count to Andre. Dodgers in this string of 10 games against Eastern Division teams. This is the 3rd game, and they're 1-1. That's a strike. Dodgers are 9-13 against the East, and they will be faced with Eastern teams. The Phillies in Atlanta, then later on in the weekend, Cincinnati. Fly ball, room service. It's coming to Willingham. So Andre goes 0 for 3, 1 down. James Loney, single to drive in a run, fly to center, and struck out, facing Tyler Clippard. Six runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Nationals. That's a strike. 0-1. Clippard, fastball, curveball, and a changeup. Some say his changeup is his most effective pitch. That's going to go foul out of play. 0-2 the count. Might be a little tough to pick up the ball. Clippard is a long drink of water. He's 6'4", maybe 175. Comes directly over the top, and he's all elbows and kneecaps. Here he comes. Curveball in the dirt. 1-2 the count. Tyler Clippard. Clippard is 8-6. That's on the corner. We're just going to say his strikeout to walk ratio is about 2.5 to 1. And Loney holds that up as he strikes out a second time. Now Matt Kemp. And Matt's had just one of those days. He struck out in the first inning. He struck out in the third inning. And he struck out in the 6th inning. Told you the ups and downs of baseball, the highs and the lows, the euphoria and the depression, and they go through it all. Remember the other day, Matt Kemp went 5 for 5, and everybody was saying, wow, he's really off and running now. The groove is there. Well, since that 5 for 5 game, he's 1 for 19. Right, there's that changeup. 1-1 the count. So the first thing you hear of the life of the big leaguer, getting here is one thing, staying here is another. And then it's the ability to endure. 1-2, and you can't go up there being afraid to strike out. In other words, Matt Kemp walked up and said, look, I don't want to strike out a 4th time now. I just got it. No. One ball and 2 strikes. Okay. Matt's 4 for 4 or 0 for 4. Take your pick. He strikes out 4 times. And at the end of 7, it's still 6-3 Dodgers. game started, we told you about a personnel change. The fact that Garrett Anderson, the veteran who enjoyed a marvelous career and certainly a wonderful guy to get to know, Garrett was designed and designated for assignment, so he's no longer a member of the Dodgers. And they brought up young Jay Gibbons. Well, not young. Let's say experienced Jay Gibbons. And the left-hand hitter broke in with the Dodgers with a pinch hit single and a run batted in. So Jay, who lives in Simi Valley, having hit a lot of home runs in the major leagues, then going to Albuquerque, called up and picks up where Garrett Anderson left off. 6-3 in favor of the Dodgers. It'll be Desmond, Zimmerman, and Dunn against Octavio Dotel. Dotel is from Santo Domingo in the Dominican, an even 6'2", signed in 1993 by the Mets and made it to the big leagues for 1 year with New York in '99. He's bounced around a lot. Good fastball. He went from the Mets to the Astros, spent 5 years with the Astros, then the A's, then the Yankees, then the Royals, the Braves, the White Sox, the Pirates, and here he is. Dotel will be 35 in November, and he takes care of Desmond in a hurry, strikes him out. So we have one away in the 8th inning. So be sure to visit the official online shop of the Dodgers at Dodgers.com. You can browse their official gear, latest apparel, nostalgic memorabilia, authentic classics for that matter, for the whole family. So get your gear from the official source, the Dodgers.com shop. One down, and Ryan Zimmerman, robbed by Matt Kemp in the first inning, popped up, hit into a forced play sense. 0-1 the count. Ryan batting .297, 22 home runs, 63 runs batted in, but a streak on the line. He has reached first base safely in 23 consecutive games, and he is 0 for 3. The paid attendance on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in the ballpark, 43,639. It was 76 degrees when the game started. Just a lovely day. Bright blue sky, tough on pop flies and fly balls. But a beautiful day. 0-2. Ball one. They're in the 9th inning over in Arizona. The Padres are beating the D-backs 8-1. The 22-year-old Matt Latos went 6 innings, allowed just 2 hits, struck out 6 and no runs. He made 99 pitches. On it is A.J. Ellis to shoot him down. So for Zimmerman, unless this game really turns around, his streak of getting on base safely has come to an end. 2 down, and Adam Dunn coming up. We were talking about the highs and the lows. Adam Dunn began the series on a high, 3-run home run in the first inning and a 3-run home run in the third. Since then, nothing. Struck out after the 2 home runs, then struck out twice last night, and he has struck out twice and hitless today. So he has struck out 5 times, but he did make his contributions in that first game. The Dodgers loaded up. So you have Loney, then you have Belliard out on the grass, then you have Terrio, and you have Carroll off to his left to fill up the middle. I mean, if Dunn ever bunted the ball up along third base, it would bring down the house. Check swing. No swing, says Jim Joyce. 1-2 to Adam Dunn. Big guy leading the league with 30 home runs. He has also struck out 137 times. Down he goes again. Because Adam has struck out a lot, being the kind of hitter he is. He has struck out as much as 195 times. It's 6-3 Dodgers. Certainly would be the work of Jamie Carroll. Carroll in the first inning had a base hit up the middle to drive in a run. Then in the fourth inning, Jamie promptly doubled and scored on the double by Ellis, and last time up singled to set up a run. So Carroll coming up, and the crowd giving an ovation. If you've been to Dodger Stadium, you know the gentleman who pantomimes the song "Don't Stop Believin'," and it's really caught on. But what has really topped his act is about a 4-year-old who imitates him. And now today, just a few minutes ago, they had the gentleman doing his routine with the 4-year-old, and that just brought down the house. So bottom of the 8th inning, 6-3 Dodgers. Ronnie Belliard, Jamie Carroll, and A.J. Ellis. And right-handed Drew Storen on the mound. Ball one. Drew Storen from Indiana. He was the Montreal Expos bat boy 7 years ago. He went to Stanford. Foul back. Growing up in Brownsburg, Indiana, he was known as the sports guy's kid. He is the son of longtime Indianapolis sportscaster Mark Patrick. In high school and college, he was a pitcher, and his progression has led him right here to the big leagues. 1-1. Fastball grounded fair inside third down the line. Belliard will let it out and go into second base with a double. So the leadoff double for Belliard as the Dodgers look for perhaps an insurance run for the 9th inning. And Carroll, Ellis, and Dotel due up. So Jamie 3 for 3. Has his average at 282. With Ellis on deck, Nationals pull up the corners thinking Carroll might bunt. Swinging away. 0-1. Down in the Dodger bullpen, they will ask him to close. Hung-Chi Kuo, he made 18 pitches last night and gave up 1 hit in the 8th inning. He was a little on the wild side. He walked 2. Oh, and 1. That's in there. So Marquis, Slayton, Batista, Clippard, and Storen. Sliced foul. Still 0-2. Jamie backs out, timeout. Alberto Gonzalez, who had been playing second base, moves over to shortstop, so Adam Kennedy is in there. Time at the plate. So if you're keeping score, you can put Storen in Desmond's spot. Oh, and 2. Foul back. When the Nationals come up in the 9th inning, they'll have Willingham, then Kennedy, and Maxwell. No balls, 2 strikes. Down and away, 1-2 the count. Dodgers have not lost a season series since the Washington Nationals were the Montreal Expos, and that would be back in 2001. So there's a little bit of pride online. They're battling for a split by winning today. Fouled away. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Hung-Chi Kuo has company. Ramon Troncoso begins to loosen up. Jamie Carroll has struck out only 43 times, so he's tough to put away. That short stroke just fouling him off. Down and dirty, no swing. Nice save by Nieves. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Storen is an artist. While he was at Stanford, one of the things he thought about was to design a tricked out pair of baseball cleats for a product design class. Another foul ball. Professor asked him to design something in our field of interest, and because of that, he's now pursuing a degree in product design. He said, I actually designed an iPhone my freshman year. It was totally different, obviously. It was a big filter for me when I looked at schools, whether they had a product design or industrial design. And he's trying to design a way to get Jamie Carroll out, and he's gone 3-2. Three and 2 to Jamie Carroll. Drew Storen trying to put him away with Belliard at second and nobody out. And Carroll has himself an interesting at bat. Refuses to give in a 9-pitch at bat, and he draws the walk. A.J. Ellis, the young catcher, coming up, and Jim Riggleman is going out to the mound. Let's see if Riggs is bringing a hook. He's used Marquis, Slayton, Batista, Clippard, Storen. Riggs holding court, but he hasn't taken the ball away from Drew Storen. In Storen's thinking about product design, he says there are some things that either look really cool but don't work very well. Some things that work well but don't look very good. So he said, I'd like to find a way to get out in that area when he's finished pitching. He was their second first-round pick, and they signed him for a lot of money. So here is A.J. Ellis, and they are certainly looking bunt from him. He gets it down, picked up by Dunn, but there's nobody at third, so he has to throw to first. Adam was all set to make a play at third. Ryan Zimmerman was charging so hard, he wound up in foul ground outside the first base foul line. Watch this. Here comes Zimmerman on the dead run, and Dunn gets there, so there's nobody at short. So Ellis sacrifices nicely. Second and third, and Reed Johnson is now gonna bat for Dotel. Meanwhile, the Padres have pretty much demolished the D-backs. Final score 10-1. Johnson, with first base open, checking in, appeared as a pinch hitter in the seventh inning last night and doubled sharply to right field. So the Nationals play the infield up as the Dodgers try to open it up before the ninth inning. Fastball, ball one. For Storen, he'd like to try and design a new strike zone. Double and a walk and a successful sacrifice. 1 ball and no strikes. Reed Johnson with 7 RBIs. And he hits a little flare into center. That's going to drop. It's good for 1. Here comes the throw way offline. A diving try, but the tag is missed. And the Dodgers lead 8-3. So the Dodgers open it up. Good slide by Jamie Carroll to avoid the diving tag by Will Nieves. A 2-run inning. Dodgers lead 8-3. The bench has delivered. Gibbons came up for a base hit and a run batted in. Johnson gets off the bench and singles in 2. And here's Posednik. Walked twice. Single, stole a base, grounded out, and ball 1. So Drew Storen, a little bit of a discouraging inning. In a couple of days, he'll be singing happy birthday. Be on Wednesday of the upcoming week. Right now, he's only 22. 2-0 the count. So 8 runs and 10 hits for the Dodgers. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Nationals. And the Nationals have Willingham, Kennedy, and Maxwell in the 9th inning. Just a question who's going to come out of the Dodger bullpen to close it. With a 5-run lead, they certainly might go to Troncoso rather than Quo and or Broxton. And you can see Ramon throwing alone now in the pen. Broxton pitched 2 innings and made 32 pitches last night, so you knew you weren't going to see him. Quo had made 18 and walked 2. So the logical choice is Troncoso with a 5-run lead. Little ground ball to short. They'll get 1. The throw to first in time. So the double play puts the lid on the inning, but not before the Dodgers get two and lead 8-3. Adam Kennedy and then Justin Maxwell against Ramon Troncoso. Before Troncoso came into the game, I was thinking, boy, baseball is amazing. You go to spring training, you play a whole bunch of games, and by the time you get to August, who would have thought the starting pitcher would be Ted Lilly, the reliever would be Kenley Jansen out of nowhere, and then, for good measure, Octavio Dotel. We go to the ninth, and now a familiar face from spring training, Ramon Troncoso, who went down shortly after the birth of little Isabella. Strike. 0-1. Willingham popped up, grounded out, struck out, 0 for 3, hitting .265, 15 home runs, 54 runs batted in. One and one. Ramon, 6'2", 200. He's 27. Big breaking ball lifted to right field. Ethier's there. So one away in the ninth inning.
Second baseman, number 20, Adam Kennedy.
The Nationals have had one hit since the fifth inning. That was a leadoff single by Justin Maxwell. So they've pretty well been shut down. They scored 2 runs in the second inning with back-to-back home runs by Morris and Maxwell, and then just one more run later on in the fifth inning, and the offense has been completely shut down. Lilly's last inning, and then great work from Jansen and Dotel, and now Troncoso. Kennedy in his first at bat, 1 ball, 1 strike. Adam started at second base last night, single to left, flied out twice and struck out. He appeared as a pinch hitter in the first game and struck out. 1-1. That's in there. 1-2. One and 2 to Adam Kennedy. Off the plate. 2-2 the count. Giants lost. Padres won. Padres lead the Giants by 2. Colorado won. They're 6.5 back. The Dodgers, in the process of winning, will remain 7 back with 50 games left. Fly ball in the gap, slicing, and dropping it is Posednik. Had his glove on it. Looked like he was going to catch it. Might have taken his eye off the ball, hearing the thundering steps of Matt Kemp. But whatever, it was in and out of the glove, and we'll assume there'll be an error. Either that or that glare that has given a lot of people fits with balls hit in the air. So it'll be an error charge to Posednik. Second error for the Dodgers and the fourth error today. So Kennedy is aboard. And the batter is Maxwell. Homered, fly to center, single to left. So Justin 2 for 3. Good fastball, 0-1. Willie Harris, who has made 2 pinch hit appearances in the series, is on deck. Willie walked last night and hit into a force play the night before. 0-1. Well, there's something really shiny right around the hands of Maxwell. Up here, it almost looks like he's wearing a watch. And a fly ball back of first. Loney goes over and makes the catch. So the game should be over, but it's not. And Will Nieves will give way to Willie Harris. So Willie Harris batting for the catcher, Will Nieves, with 2 out in the 9th inning. Breeze blowing to right field, and a strike to Willie. Willie Harris is from Cairo, Georgia. And a constant reminder, that was the birthplace of Jackie Roosevelt Robinson. His high school field is now named Jackie Robinson Field. Down to second goes Kennedy. Defensive indifference. 0-2 the count to Willie. Willie was on a championship White Sox World Series team, and he'll never forget going home to Cairo. They had a victory parade in his honor. He was riding on a fire truck, and all of his teammates in high school were on another fire truck. Can understand a moment in a lifetime for a young Georgia boy. Now he's up there, no balls and 2 strikes. Oh, and 2. Ball 1. Roger Bernardina on deck with 2 out. Kennedy at second, 6-3 Dodgers. Fouled away. Still 1-2. Next stop for the Dodgers, Philadelphia. Coming in here at 4:05 on KCAL 9. Breaking ball in the dirt, kicks away. Holding at second. No chance for Kennedy to even consider trying to come over. Down by 5 with 2 out in the 9th inning. So Troncoso got Willingham. Thought he had Kennedy, but Posednik dropped the fly ball after a long run. Took care of Maxwell. Now trying to answer the crowd of 43,639. 2-2. Ball 3. check swing, ball 4. So the game that should have been over is still very much alive. The drop fly ball, the Dodgers have to get 4 outs. Posednik's been around long enough that even he would scratch his head on that ball that came out of his glove. So here's Bernardina. He came in late, 7th inning, struck out in his only at bat. Struck out against Kenley Jansen, the 2 boys from Curacao, and ball 1. So they were hoping to save Quo, and Troncoso came in his stead, but Hung Chi has to get up just in case. One ball and no strikes. 2 out, 2 on, 9th inning. And the Dodgers leading comfortably 8-3, but Honeycutt on the phone to the pen. Ellis kind of looks over to the dugout, and Joe Torre comes up the steps. I think Ellis's look was a look of help, or either that with a left-hand hitter up. He was saying to Joe, if you want to, we'll take Quo. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Now we'll see if Jim Riggleman will change, and it looks like he will. Kevin Mensch will take over and bat for Bernardina. Hung Chi Quo will not be rested. He will be asked to come in to get the last out, and we'll be back. Pinch hitter. Kevin is from Delaware, and we talked a little bit about him last night. He is a kid with a good sense of humor, and he needs it because they're always teasing him. And I'll give you a couple of dimensions that cause the tease. First of all, his size 8 cap. That's about 5 sizes bigger than the average size. And they say it matches Bruce Bochy's for the largest hat size in baseball, according to New Era, the cap company used by Major League Baseball. Kevin's neck, 17.5, and he wears a 12.5 shoe. So we got a big man here. He is an even 6, 225, 32 years old. Came up as a pinch hitter last night and singled to center. So Kevin Mensch, a real Mensch, a stand-up guy with 2 on, 2 out, and he inherits a 1 ball, no strike count. Inside, 2-0. So a fly ball to right, then the fly ball to left center, dropped by Posednik, then a foul ball that should have been the last out, then a walk, so the inning is still alive. And here is Mensch. Ball 3. Quo was on the wild side last night. 3-0. And a strike. Kevin Mensch was originally signed by the Rangers out of the University of Delaware. Came up to the Rangers in 2002. Eventually went to the Brewers, the Blue Jays, played in Japan with the Hanshin Tigers, and here he is. Popped up. It will be A.J. Ellis hoping to wrap up the game. He has done it. So the Dodgers win 8-3. They remain 7 back of San Diego, and they'll be looking at the Phillies come Tuesday night.